I'm muted. Yeah, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Communication Breakdown Live, Aaron. Good to see you, mate. I've been talking for about 30 seconds, but I was muted. I'm not anymore. So this is just a follow-on from the podcast we've just done, guys. But it's kind of going to be like an ask us anything. Me and Lucky are just going to shoot the shit. So I'm going to start in the live chat. I'm going to start a Q&A section, if my computer behaves. If you've got any questions, guys, bang them in there. How you doing, like? You had a good day, mate?
Yeah, man, pretty good. Just chilling, hanging out.
What do you think of the podcast cut, mate?
I'm sorry?
What do you think of the podcast cut?
It was good. It was good. It was, it's pretty much most of what we did. There's, we didn't really, we cut it about an hour, and that's about what it was, right?
Yeah, so. I just chopped out a couple of ums and ahs that made no sense.
And
then just sprinkled images and videos throughout. But yeah, I was quite happy with it. Yeah, I'm Jordan Chat. How you doing, mate?
I'm glad you found that Philip Bowen guy. Because that dude, violin, whatever, he's sick. Like, he plays some mean covers, man.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. I was quite surprised when I looked at the videos. And I was like, oh, well, okay, so he's playing Numb. Oh, he's actually playing Numb. Right, okay, fair play. I didn't know what to expect when I saw a dude with a violin in his hand, but yeah, it was really good. And it didn't get a copyright strike against it, or claim against it, because he had modified it and he hasn't copyrighted his stuff.
Oh, okay. Like, I found him on Instagram, so I don't know if he spends most of his stuff over there or where he does it, but yeah, it was like one of those things that pops up on the Instagram feed, and I was like, what is this? And you watch it for a couple seconds, and then he starts playing, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. It was really eye-opening to look at, man. Have you looked into Steel Panther anymore?
Not yet. I haven't notated on my my paper to look into more of that stuff. What I heard the other day was interesting.
Yeah, it was funny as hell. It is funny as hell. Christian's asking if we're gonna podcast anywhere else yet. No, not yet, mate. Just YouTube for now. That's just the plan going forward, isn't it? Look, YouTube.
Yeah.
Hopefully start a joint channel.
Yeah. I was suggested to me by someone that we should look into that stuff. I'm going to talk to you about it, like doing the other platforms. But I don't know enough about it. I have to look into it,
Yeah, me too, mate, to be honest. I don't know it at all. I got a clue. Yeah. I know how to use YouTube, that's about it. But it's definitely something we could do going forward.
Yeah.
If it continues to roll and gather the snow, so to speak, and ball up.
Yeah.
So far, mate, I think recording sessions are going quite well.
Yeah, I mean, last time we talked for an hour before we started recording. So
yeah, right.
We definitely have plenty of material.
Talk about missed content. We literally chatted for an hour. And we should have recorded that when we got to the end of the
hour. Damn it.
Yeah, there was definitely a missed opportunity there. What's the podcast about, Aaron? It seems I am ill-informed. A podcast about whatever category we decide to make it about. Like last time it was gaming, and we chatted for like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, didn't we? And this one was music, but this one's going to be a bit longer. It's going to be maybe a 2 or 3 parter in it. Just because of the depth of the subject matter.
And the general idea is kind of like, I'm from America, he's from the UK, so it's just like comparing our experiences and the differences, growing up, and the overall name of the podcast, Communication Breakdown, just kind of has like different meanings about how communication between people has broken down, like how you break down communication. Like going forward, we have a lot of stuff, we've talked about that. We'll kind of hit on that, I think, a little bit more, right? So.
Yeah, we've got ideas going forward, that's for sure. Once we've got through the music bit, we'll start getting some more interesting topics forward, because you brought a couple forward earlier, didn't you?
One I was kind of like, I wasn't joking, but I was kind of joking, was football versus football.
That's right? It, yeah. Soccer versus football. What we should probably do, mate, is American football versus rugby.
Okay, you're a rugby fan?
Yeah, mate.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
Sounds
I
good.
like rugby, and I've watched recently a couple of Americans react to rugby videos, and like you guys, do you know much about rugby?
I watched some videos on it. Yeah.
Because like these guys who've never seen it before, they're like, "What the hell is going on here? Why are there no pads? Like, why are you headbutting each other?"
Right.
Like there's
Right.
this one clip of this player grabbing another player by his ass and his neck and literally throwing him out.
Nice.
Oh mate, it's so good.
Yeah, the misconception on that too. I mean, we could talk about this when we do the podcast and more,
Yeah,
but
quite.
like the thing, major difference between American football is just the speed of it. Like those players are just fucking fast. Like I mean, and the force they hit each other with is just nuts. But yeah, like I guess that's better saved for the actual podcast.
Well,
right?
quite, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. On music was a really cool subject to be about a third of the way into, I suppose. It was good to learn some new bands from you.
Yeah, I mean, I still have plenty more for our next one. Like, I still have my list of just different bands, like just different music I experienced, and like when we talk about like modern music and stuff, I kind of go back to like one thing with Method Man, like how he does this interview where he shows how he borrowed music from like the Beatles.
Oh really?
And just all these, when he created his own music,
Oh, okay.
really cool stuff like that.
Oh, sick, man. There's like little bits and bobs like that we need to know.
Yeah.
And it's good to talk about. Is everybody enjoying the podcast? I asked you guys out there in the chat. Have you guys got any subjects you might want us to discuss later in the future? Because that's kind of what this is also about being live, is you guys can fire some stuff at us. And we can take a list, like in real time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like you said, it's kind of why we're doing this, is just like open communicate. Like, people just don't communicate like they used to,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
fine to do with that, mate.
it's a good way to get people to just like communicate with each other a little bit more, instead of just like a lot of people tell each other things. They don't communicate with each other. There's a difference in that, in my opinion. And like hopefully this just makes it more relaxing. People can contribute and you have a discussion.
It's more than just passing the basic information, do you know what I mean? To communicate properly.
Yeah.
It's more than just saying words. It's like taking on what the other person's saying and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure we're going to find something we don't agree on at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which will again, make an interesting conversation for podcast. Because we're communicating.
Yeah,
properly,
I
so
mean,
we're bound to
It's
find
just the
something.
nature of different people, right? Like, that's good.
And it's been good to get a view of someone from the other side of the pond, as you were saying earlier, in actually like talking for a decent amount of time, because we've spoke for like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 hours in three or four times, maybe more.
Right.
I've exchanged a lot of information in those times. Obviously, you guys out there haven't heard every conversation that we've had, but it's definitely been cool to have my eyes opened up a little bit more about America and what I kind of thought about it, which is another cool byproduct of this podcast itself.
Yeah, and one of the cool things is just the similarities. There's more similarities than I thought. Especially when we got into like the gaming and the music thing.
Yeah, because it was all much for us, mate.
Right.
It's similar systems. They might have been called by different names, like the Mega Drive and the Genesis, for example, exactly the same system. Two different names.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, why are they different? What the?
I don't know.
Well, it's so strange.
It's a valid question. It's like, why change a product name to come over here? Unless it was like because of Phil Collins, and he wasn't having it. Maybe not taking my band name for your console.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it could be that simple, right? Never know.
Oh no, we're similar to the Brits, Aaron says. Mate, you're born from the Brits. You know this. The forefathers were British, mate. You already know that. We're very closely related.
Yep. Special relationship, right? So they call
Quite.
it the special
Quite, mate.
relationship between the two countries. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We're very close in it as two different nations. Even though we sometimes don't have the same ideas on everything, but we're very, very, very tight, I would say. Out of all the Western nations, I would suggest the US and the UK are the closest.
Yeah.
Maybe if not politically, but people and the populace.
Yeah.
We get on as
Yeah.
a people as opposed to anything else.
Yeah, and
Go on.
it's funny because like America is so big, you know, like the size of the like it's so, you know, there's differences within our own, you know, regions,
Yeah,
you know, but
yeah.
at least we still have the common thing with the UK, you know. It's interesting.
Yeah, we'll always have our histories knitted together, won't we?
Yeah.
two
Oh, for
countries.
sure.
But your country itself is your history knitted with so many because of how many different nations came together to give birth to the states.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's funny, you know, from talking about music. Like when I was in high school, you know, the drama departments did plays, and I don't know if you've ever seen the play 1776.
No.
But it's about like the, you know, independence and the writing of the Declaration of Independence. And,
Okay.
you should watch it. It's a you know, it's a musical, but whatever, right? So, but that was one of my favorite experiences from high school, was because my friend and I were in the pit orchestra, and like day after day we'd just go practice and we'd play this music, and it's, you know, that time period is my favorite historical time period to study, you know. So like it's really cool to just, you know, how everything ends up tying into each other. Like here I am, you know, 30 something years later talking to you about this experience I had, you know, because we're shooting the shit about, you know, the differences and similarities between our countries,
Yeah.
you know.
I think America definitely puts more emphasis on like bands and stuff like that. I don't remember having a high school band at my high school.
Oh really?
Yeah, we don't have that. We might do it at private schools or bigger high schools than I went to, but yeah, we didn't have we had like a music class and stuff like that. But I don't remember there being like a performance band. I could well be wrong.
Okay.
So it's quite a significant difference. It's like you guys go all in on your football teams and stuff, whereas we've got like a grotty little pitch with some rugby sticks or a football pitch. It's not quite put together well. There's no grandstands. There's nothing like that here.
Right.
You need to.
Well, that's what I was
Go on.
I was just saying, that's what I was saying when we were in the podcast, when we recorded. Like, for me, the experience I had with the band was so unique to that time period in Florida. Like now, if I was to go back and try and teach the way, you know, we used to teach back then, it's just not the same. Like the you know, the football teams are better. The money goes other places from, you know, the school gets allotted and all that. So it's yeah, it kind of said like, because when I went back to college in 2007, 2008, and part of one of my courses was you had to do volunteer work. So at the time, I was like, you could go volunteer in school, you know, in the middle schools. So I started doing that, and then I made connections with the high schools again, like the high school I graduated from and where I did my band stuff at, and they needed a drum instructor. So my friend and I were thinking about doing it, but when we went in and we, you know, kind of learned about like how it was at the time, it was just not worth it, man. It was like we had I don't know if you saw, I was telling someone earlier in the chat, like we had 200 members in our band.
That's actually
in high school, over 200 members. Like now there's like maybe 70, you know. It's such a different. Yeah, I mean, so my junior year in high school, which would have been my biggest year with the most members, we had 9 snare drummers, 6 bass drummers, I think it was 5 quads, 4 cymbal players, and then we had a whole pit orchestra, probably like 5-7 people. So, you know, like 30 something people probably in
Sounds
just
like
the drum line
percussion,
alone.
mate.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was like 30 people in the, you know, and now like the band, that's maybe half the size of a band now, you know, at least in this area.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty
So,
nuts.
as I said in the podcast, mate, I could never have done teaching, bro. There's no way I wouldn't have the
I don't know,
attention
man.
span or the patience.
I don't know, man. Like I was the same way, but once I did it, God, it was like, it's so rewarding, you know. Like there's just this moment when you're teaching people and they get it, and like there's really no other feeling like that when it clicks for them, and you're the one that helped them get there, you know.
When I go, this is an A chord. Oh, can you see that bird out the window? And that's the teacher. You know how long it's going to take for me
Right.
to impart that information into a young person's mind, mate?
Right. Right. Well, that's the thing. You got to pick the right age, right?
Gotta pick the right teacher, mate, not me.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
If you want to watch me and learn from what I do, that's fine. I can't really explain it because I'll go off piece completely.
Well, some people learn that way, man. Like just by being able to watch, like someone
Yeah.
do something, you know.
That's true, because that's kind of how I learned. Because I learned, as I said, with tablature, but then as I got older and YouTube came around, I could like watch guitar lessons on YouTube and stuff and learn from watching people that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, what
Yeah.
you're saying is true. You can watch just by learning, as long as, but again, the videos explain what's going on, whereas I struggle to do that.
Well, I wouldn't recommend the movie because, like, drumline wise, I think there's a lot of bad parts about it. But I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Drumline with Nick Cannon.
No,
But that's kind of the basic premise of the movie is like he's a really good drummer, but he doesn't know how to read music. He learns it by watching other people, so he kind of like fakes his way through this college audition and performance and part of the band and all this stuff. So it's like a kind of a thing within the musical community. Like some people can just do that.
yeah.
You know.
Oh man, that's crazy. So what's the first concert you went to? Man?
Concert, God, I don't even know. It probably like I didn't go to a lot of concerts actually. I haven't been to a lot, but it was kind of like a pep rally type of thing in at University of Florida. What like the week of homecoming, they do a pep rally where they have comedians and
That's cool.
performances. Yeah, so I forgot who performed there actually. I think it was man, I don't know, like can't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah,
like
I know. I
just,
feel you, bro. I feel you.
they were good. I remember they were good. The comedians were really good, but the music part of it, man, like I don't, I was probably too drunk to to really appreciate it. But like I haven't been to a lot of concerts themselves. Like,
Loads, mate.
have you? What's your favorite?
My favorite. Well, my first one was The Offspring way back, mate.
Okay.
99 maybe. But I've seen Disturbed, I've seen Skindred, I've seen Rammstein, I've seen The Darkness, I've seen Green Day.
Okay.
It's an extensive list, mate. Loads of like little bands from my local area and stuff. What was my favourite one? Probably Rammstein, mate. The stage show was incredible.
Yeah.
Like loads of explosions, loads of pyrotechnics. Like they like burn a baby in a giant in a giant pram, and then set fire to one of the singers. It's a full-on assault. When they performed in Cardiff in the UK, the fire brigade were called because they thought the stadium was going up in flames and someone panicked. And they turned up and no, it's just a rock gig. Sorry.
Nice.
So yeah, Rammstein's probably my favourite that I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's definitely worth the show. You can't understand what they're singing because it's in German, but it's just good driving industrial metal, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a concert per se, and it probably wouldn't have been my favorite. But like we used to, when my nieces were younger, we used to go to Disney World every year because my brother and his wife would. She had training in Orlando almost every year, and one year they had Train perform over there, like just for their whole like their little area. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. But wouldn't have been my favorite, but it was good enough, But
Aaron's calling you
like
out
they
for
have-
going to enough concerts, mate.
I know, man. I wish
Don't
it
put that in my
like
chat, bro.
it's just one of those things. I'm not huge into crowds, like just my personality. I'm just not a big like crowd type of person, so I kind of just shied away from going to all these concerts.
You could get yourself a
but
boutique box above and one of those like sticks with the binoculars on.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No crowds, bro. No crowds. And
Right,
you get cool
right.
binoculars.
yeah. I'll go to a nice metal concert with those little glasses, spy glasses, and check them out from the bleachers.
Dressed like someone from England in Georgia times.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I know I've been to concerts. It's just, like like in Florida, they have now. It's always been called Sunfest. It's huge now, but back then they were like more local type of bands when I was growing up. So like it was a little bit more relaxed, but now it's like a huge thing where they have all these huge bands. So, but back then it would have been local. You wouldn't know the bands anyway, right? So, um, did more of that kind of stuff.
We only get like three major concerts here every year, I think.
Okay.
That was in Reading. What's the other one? Donington Park. I can't remember what it's called now. It's a heavy metal festival. I can't remember what the third one is either. Yeah, that's how many. We ain't got many here, mate. We get loads of little like regional shows.
Okay.
Like the vegan festival and stuff like that. But we don't get the sort of run of bands you guys get over there. We don't enjoy anything like that. You guys could like in my mind anyway. You might correct me on this. Like a major city in the States can expect a decent band at least once a month.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would say maybe even more.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's always like, you know, they do these tours and there's so many bands and performers over here, you know.
Well, it's like in the UK, it's like we'll have these 3 major concerts with loads of bands, and it's like you'll have that and you'll like it.
Right.
And if you can't afford the 400 quid for the ticket, well, you ain't seeing it, mate. Glastonbury, that's the other one. Glastonbury, Donington, and Reading and Leeds festivals. There you go, came to my mind. Glastonbury's shit for anyone who's listening. Don't go to Glastonbury, it's so bad now. It's not a good time.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, one of the best performances I've ever been to is Blue Man Group.
Oh, really? Have you seen it?
Oh man, they are. I saw it in person, like live.
That's so good.
They have a place in Orlando where I don't know if they still do it, but this is back in like 2017, 2016. They had their own auditorium or whatever performance stage there, but they, you know, because it's all based around music, and it's so damn good. You know, like they're very talented drummers.
I've never seen.
Oh man, it is. It's an amazing performance. It really is. Like just the stuff they do, the comedy they do it with. You know, like there's this one part I'll never forget it. You know, they're playing all this type of music, and they have like the 2 or 3 main dudes on stage, and then they have like people playing instruments. You know, upstage or behind or in the rafter. You know, whatever. And they're playing these songs, and like they just cut the song, and someone in the audience yells, "Play Freebird!" You know, Lynyrd Skynyrd, "Play Freebird!" Okay. And they just launch right into it without missing a beat.
Oh, that's really good.
Right? Like just oh man, it was just amazing. And I was like maybe it was set up, I don't know, but like it was just amazing. You know, but they're just all talented musicians. They're funny. They do cool stuff. I mean, it's I want to go back just for that.
I'll have a gander. I'll have to have a look.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in Florida, I went to Medieval Times.
Okay, I've never been there.
Have you not, mate? You need to. It's great. I only went because of the Cable Guy movie. I love Jim Carrey, and I was like, I need to go there.
It's such an underrated movie,
mate, isn't it? Just, mate, what a film the Cable Guy is, mate.
Cable Goobler.
Oh, mate, I love that film, and yeah, I've got a I was actually really, really clever that night. So, girlfriend at the time said I could have 1 beer. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. So I got there, and it was like $19 for like a pint and a half, and it was bottomless.
Nice.
I only bought one, love. I'll have a refill, please. That was good. It was good. I still got the glass to this day, mate.
I've never been to Medieval Times, but in high school, actually with my band, we went on a senior trip to Tennessee. It's a place called Gatlinburg. It's like a touristy kind of area, and we had a performance there to do. But they had like a version of Medieval Times, but it was the Civil War, the American Civil War, North versus South. So it was very similar to Medieval Times, but it was, you know, different theme. And it was in Tennessee, so of course the South won, which doesn't make any fucking sense, right? But you know, that's that's what they had. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of high school kids going in there, and they're having the opposite of historical facts, you know, going on.
Mate, can you imagine if they tried that in Germany?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want to do that, but yeah.
Damn, man. How does the story play out?
I forget what, like, I don't know if it was you know, it's basically like, so what they had was like they had the horses and everything. They were performing a battle
Okay.
And they're just, like, oh, in the South, American South, there's this thing of like, Southern chivalry and, like the Southern cause and all that type of stuff. And so it's kind of based around that idea, I think. Like, they were.
Did they
were
write
just,
like Abraham Lincoln was imprisoned or anything like that into the story?
No, nothing. I don't think it got that deep. I think
Right,
it was just
okay.
more about like the general type of thing, But it was like basically the same food, the chicken and all that type of stuff. It was just a Civil War theme
Okay.
type of thing, and at the
Oh,
end
no.
they're like, the South shall rise again type of,
It's another thing we
crap.
don't have much over here is themed restaurants. Like,
Mm.
We've only got one Denny's.
Really?
We've got one. Yeah, we got one, and it's in Wales. It's not very far from my house, to be fair. I need to go over there and have a crack. I like Denny's. I don't know if that makes like what anyone in America is going to think of me liking Denny's. I don't know what you guys like. What you think your own fast food,
Denny's
but I
is,
thought it was nice.
Denny's is basically like, I don't know what it was growing up. It's probably different, but nowadays it's the place you go after you're drunk to sober up and
Oh,
eat some
okay.
food.
Yeah, I could see
You
that.
know, like, because it's open 24 hours here, right? Or was. So it's like, and they always serve breakfast, right?
So the first breakfast I had in the States was actually a hangover cure. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've been to Denny's so many times with my drunk friends. And then when I got older, I would just be hanging out with my best friend or something, and we'd be hungry. And in the town we lived in, there wasn't a huge nightlife, so a lot of things closed early. So we'd be like, fuck it, let's go to Denny's,
I remember getting the cheese sauce and looking at the waitress like, "Maiden, what is this concoction?" It was amazing American cheese sauce on breakfast. I was like, "What is this? They got cheese on their breakfast like this? I'm taking it." I can't remember what I had. I think I had the cheese and bacon pancakes maybe or something like that.
It's
so long
they
ago.
they like to add, like, if you get scrambled eggs, they're like, "Would you like cheese in your eggs?" They ask you that all the time. I'm pretty basic when I go there. I get, like, I forgot what it's. I think it's like called the Grand Slam or something. It's basically like bacon, pancakes, and eggs. As part of the meal. So that's what I always get. I don't do anything too crazy with it, but they have so much stuff there.
I remember.
You
I
can
remember.
basically,
Yeah, Serpico in the chat saying that COVID stopped it being 24/7.
that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
How you doing, Soap? Welcome in, mate. Oh, mate, I just remember that was basically my first proper American meal was at Denny's. I was in Kissimmee, in Florida.
Oh, Kissimmee, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we had and then we went to one of the little strip, like one of the tiny little strip malls where you guys have there, like I don't know, 5 or 6 shops, and it was like a pizza place that we had that. We had like this pizza, it was huge. Never seen anything like it, a 3 by 2 foot pizza or something like that. Like you had to put it on the roof of the car to get it home. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a pizza like it. Jesus.
When were you here?
2017.
Okay. All right.
Um,
So yeah, so it was pre-COVID.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the size of the pizza.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that are like that. Like I was just talking to my friend about it the other day because I moved to this townhouse,
Yeah.
and there's like 5 pizza places within a couple miles
Oh,
of this
mate.
place. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There's a lot of-
Be alright.
Well, I hope so. This is as long as rap comes. He's my favorite turtle. So, but that happens a lot because, like, this is a melting pot. This Florida, this area from up north, and a lot of people leave up north and they come and they open pizza shops in Florida to because it's everyone loves pizza, right? And everyone promises they're the New York style pizza. So
Right, okay. How many are proper New York style pizza?
not many. So the
Oh,
problem
really?
with that is there's a huge difference between the water in Florida and up New York area.
Right, okay, yeah, makes sense.
So like it affects making the dough, the sauce, all that type of stuff. So you can get very close, but there's very few that are really good New York pizza.
Right, okay. So to get a true New York pizza, would you have to get like water shipped from New York, essentially?
Yeah, there's actually they explored that so my brother, he lived in Manhattan, where I did, and he worked for a famous pizza place up there. And back then, this is like 99, 2000.
Okay.
They were exploring the cost of shipping the water from New York to different areas of the country to see if they could open it up. Now there's another place called Grimaldi's, which is my favorite pizza place, and the original Grimaldi's is actually basically under the Brooklyn Bridge in New York.
Oh, really?
Right, that's where it started, and they've figured it out enough to where it's very close, and they have places in Arizona, Texas, Florida, I think Colorado. They're kind of expanding, but the pizza it's expensive, but it's so good. It's very, very close to the New York pizza.
We're getting Paulie G's in the chat from Soul Slayer, mate.
Paulie G's, yeah, everyone's got their own.
Everyone's
got their own thing. What's up, Soul? What's going on, man?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I worked for a pizza place for a little bit, and it was really good pizza. This dude Santos, from New York, whatever. And see, the big thing is coal-fired pizza. In New York, it's grandfathered in. You can still use coal to cook your pizza, but other places you can't because of the pollution. So they have to use like anthracite or wood, but it doesn't get the oven hot enough.
So New York's protected.
Yeah, New York, like a lot of
crazy.
a lot of those places are grandfathered in, and the coal gets the oven so hot and the pizza's so thin, they cook it in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And there's like a char on the bottom, but it's a good char. It's not like a, overwhelming, whatever. And like people try and replicate that, right? And they just can't do it.
We get like Italian stone baked pizza here.
Okay.
Which is probably cooked to a different spec, but they're cooked on flat slates in a big oven.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's probably gas fired over here, the ovens, but I would imagine it's similar style pizza. I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, my friend Russ, his neighbor across the street had Russ's dad is a construction guy, and the neighbor asked his dad to install like a pizza oven in his house. Wow. So like a proper pizza oven, it gets like extremely hot or whatever. So this guy had a pizza oven in his house. It's crazy.
That's going one step beyond, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. That's it was actually the brother of that Santos guy.
Like most people have like a drinks cabinet, maybe a pull down screen for a projector so they can have like a little cinema. No, this bloke gets an entire freaking pizza grill installed. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Soul just said it. The pizza and bagels. That's a huge thing. Bagels. Again, it comes down to the water and the dough. The other thing, or like, I don't know if do you guys have like deli sandwiches over there a lot, like sliced turkey and
cold cut sandwiches get made.
Yeah, cold cuts.
Like ours aren't done to order or anything, unless you go to like a coffee shop on the high street, which is going to be way too expensive. We just buy pre-packed mainly. We buy pre-packed sandwiches here. That's about it, mate. We also do have the places like you're talking about, but it's not cheap to go and eat there, man.
See, like in New York, they're on like almost every corner, right? So the rolls from those places are like, there's like poppy seed type of rolls and just plain and sesame seed, but because of the water, they're so fresh. So the thing that you could do in New York that they haven't been able to replicate in Florida or even Texas when I was there is the outside of the roll or bread is hard, right, and the inside is like a marshmallow. It's soft and whatever. It's fresh and all that. For some reason, it's extremely hard for other places to replicate it. But with the delis, you just go in and you're like, oh, I want a turkey sandwich, right? And it's like a pound of turkey, on a roll.
Let's go.
It's great, man. And it was like at the time, I don't know, $5 for that or something. When I lived up there.
Mm-hmm. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. Like here, you'd be lucky to get a £1/4 burger for less than £6 or maybe $7, $8, and that's like a single patty with some cheese and a bit of salad on it, mate. It's not cheap.
It's much different now. I mean, this place that we get, I've been eating meatball parm subs. One of my favorite things to order from an Italian place. And one of the reasons I do that is like I'll try to get it as the meatball sub, because the meatballs or whatever, it's kind of hard to fuck up a meatball, but it's the sauce that's what determines whether the sandwich is going to be any good, right?
Yeah, mate.
So You know,
Maybe,
I would get those.
Bravas sauce.
Yeah, before the pandemic, like a meatball parm sub was, you know, $7, $8. You know, I think it's like 13 now or something
Wow, it's
crazy.
almost doubled. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I'm actually looking it up now in the place I just
Mate, I
ordered.
saw
from.
like they put Big Macs up to $18 in a state or something like that, which I thought was insane.
I saw that.
I'm like, what is that fact? And it is a fact. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like when it starts, it's hard to stop it.
Well, quite.
You know, like
I'm not sure it's that bad over here yet. I don't really go to fast food joints anyway, mate, because like McDonald's over here, you struggle to get a warm burger in my experience.
mm-hmm.
Like even straight out the drive-through window, you can like almost guarantee it's not going to be hot. It's crazy. Fries are usually okay, but the burgers, man, a lot to be desired here.
Yeah,
in
I
my
mean,
experience.
burgers are nuts, man. Like, so one of the things I did, like in the beginning before the pandemic, when I wanted to eat cheap, is I would use the McDonald's app, right?
Okay.
And they would have large, you know, the large fries specials for like $1, right? And you would use that, and then I would get like the double hamburger, which is like $1.89 or $2 or something now, you know. Well, now they have the special is a $2 fry, and
okay.
that double hamburger is like $3, right? So it's like, what is the deal? You know, like why? It's the same meat, same bullshit. Like you know,
I think you guys are getting the price increases that we had maybe 6 months ago. I think maybe it's starting to hit you guys now because we had quite like a big price increase about 6 months ago on quite a lot of stuff. Actually.
Okay.
And it was noticeable because I remember talking to Witch, we were just dottering around. I was hearing it on the news. I was like, not really seeing any prices increasing, love. Not really hitting us, is it? And then like a couple of weeks later, it's like, shit, prices have gone. And it sounds like that's what's starting to happen over your side now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on since the pandemic began. Like, it's just everything. Like they, you know, in a couple of years ago, the big thing was the price of gas. You know, and everyone's like, it's because of this, it's because of that. And they actually did a survey of the oil companies themselves, like the executives, and they said, like, what's the number one reason that you've cut production and raised prices? And the answer was pressure from Wall Street to maximize profits.
Is that right? That's crazy.
Right.
Like,
So it wasn't a scarcity. It was like self-imposed to raise prices to make money because investors on Wall Street demanded it, and that's why we were paying $4, almost $5 for gas for a few months. Was
you
because
do it by the gallon, don't you? Not
Yeah.
by the litre.
Yep.
See, we were paying at one point $2.50 on the 1 litre.
Okay.
It's nuts. Like fuel prices between our countries are actually incredibly different. We would say you're getting fuel really cheap at that rate. Because our fuel is it's like 50% tax on our fuel or something like that. It might even be higher than that. It's crazy.
Yeah, ours isn't that high. But we rely on it. Like gas is like what makes, you know, cars are like I couldn't live
the
here.
country's so big, mate. I guess. That's
Well,
what
yeah, I
makes it.
mean, I can't live here without a car because there's no public transportation here where I am.
I've been to Florida. I know how expansive it is. Like when I figured like Disney would be right next door to where I was staying. No, it's an hour and a half drive. I'm like, what? How big is this place? Because like as a Brit, mate, you fit Britain in Florida. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I've gone over there with my tiny little Brit brain. I'm like, yeah, it can't be that far. That's an hour and a half. I'm like, I'll settle in then.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, man. It felt like forever.
Well, if the Orlando area is such a spread out tourist area too. You know, you said you were in Kissimmee. Kissimmee's like where you go to save money when you're going to Disney World, right? Like you don't stay in Orlando in the actual Disney property. You know, so like it's kind of like an adjacent area where people go, so they spend less on hotels and stuff. But then like you said, you have to drive and all. Yeah, it's like Kissimmee, Orlando is the area.
Yeah. We had it was a trip organised for me. All I had to do was get on the plane, to be honest.
Okay. Did you like it? Or?
Yeah, I loved it, man. I love the thunderstorms. That was one of my highlights. Was the weather. Because it was nice in the daytime, and it was like it seemed to be like 5 o'clock every day. The thunder came. Or you could almost set your watch by it. like these little newts running around on me and stuff at the pool, and like and seeing like vultures and stuff. I think they were. I'm sure it was a vulture or something that I saw. Looked like some sort of a massive bird.
Probably a turkey vulture.
Yeah, there you go.
Flying around. Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell are all these animals and stuff? Because you rarely see animals out in the UK. I've got a fox that comes to my front door every night, and the only reason I see that fox is because I've got a Ring doorbell.
Okay.
And then to go to Florida and see just so much wildlife, like literally in the back garden, was crazy. I loved it. I'd move there.
Well, shit. Last night I was walking the dog, and on my way back, I saw the other dog across the street running along. There's like a water canal, whatever. Except it wasn't a dog; it was a coyote. I had to do a double take. I was like, "Oh, that's a coyote." I was like, "All right, let me get this."
When they go for your dog and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's why I was like, I picked her up. I was like, "Let's go," because it's not my dog. But I was like, okay, I don't want to get caught.
What are the chances that a coyote will go for a human down there? There are many human attacks.
I don't like. I've never in this area. I've never heard, but it could be. Like it was running away from me pretty fast. But it was one of the few times. Yeah, it was like one of the few times I actually saw a coyote. I've seen a coyote in Florida. Like I've heard of them, but I've never like seen too many of them.
I bet you could have cracked a walnut with your bumhole.
Honestly, I thought it was a dog. Like until it was like pretty kind of far away, I realized what it was. I was like,
oh right,
shit.
No, I would have absolutely crapped my pants, mate. I'm like, no.
It wasn't big. It was probably the size of like a medium-sized dog, like maybe small to medium-sized dog. So it might have been a younger coyote.
Which would have approached it? I'm telling you now.
Really?
She'd have gone and stroked that thing. I'm telling you now. I'll put money on that.
Yeah. Oh, if she could have caught it, he was running pretty fast.
She'll see like a crazy wild animal, and like unless it's obviously got rabies or some sort of sickness. No.
Right.
Which come back here? No, it's gonna eat you. It'll be all right. No. That could be.
Well, keep her away from the alligators.
No, she'll jump straight. Make sure jump straight in with them. She don't care.
Yeah, you don't want to jump into those. Yeah.
It's a saltwater croc. Nah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Nice one, babe.
No, not in Florida. That's not alright. Those gators don't play, man.
No, I bet they don't. So Christian gets quite a few coyotes around, and they go for small animals where he is as well.
Oh, okay.
The craziest thing I think I've seen wild in the UK, or what appeared to be wild, was a big cat. And this cat, I'm not exaggerating, because its tail was on the middle line of the road and its nose was almost to the curb. So this cat must have been like 4 or 5 foot long, probably a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got up and scarpered, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's about the biggest thing I've ever seen live, except for maybe a deer that was out the front of our house one day.
Oh, okay.
You just don't see much around here, because we hunted, it's a small island, we hunted most of it out of extinction, mate. Like, we used to have beavers here, but we killed them all. And we had wolves here, but we killed them all. We had bears here, but we killed them all.
Okay, see, like, for me, growing up in Florida, the biggest concern was snakes. Because we have quite a few poisonous snakes in Florida.
Yep. Problems with pythons as well, haven't you?
Oh yeah, because those people have made them pets, over the past like 20 or 30 years, and now population has exploded. But I was when I was in high school, my high school was basically built on a swamp, right? And there was still like swampland next to it, so the student parking lot was built, kind of next to that demolished area. So I was late one day, and I showed up, driving through the parking lot, get out.
Yeah.
Sidewalk where the sidewalk starts. I hop up, and I'm just walking along the sidewalk, and next to it's this deep grass, and I just hear, right, and it was a rattlesnake, like probably like 3 feet from me. And I just fucking ran like as fast as I could. I was like, I was gone. I was completely gone.
Mate, they rattle for a reason, mate. Yeah, get away from those.
Oh yeah, I was gone, dude. I
remember going to a reptile shop in a place called Exeter in the UK with a witch, and the guy had a cobra, like a full cobra.
Oh,
and like you gotta get licenses and stuff in the UK for this. And he bought this cobra out. I'm like, he's not getting that out. He's like, no, I can't. And she was like, why? She'd hold this cobra, and I'm like, no.
No, hell no.
No.
No, snakes are not my thing.
No, we've
I'm
got
not a
snakes in
snake
the house. I've got
person.
9 foot. I've got 9 foot boa downstairs.
Oh, do you?
I've got American Western hognose as well. He's a funny little.
Okay.
He's a funny little snake, mate. One indigenous to your country. They're the ones that spin around on the floor if you poke them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They got like a little turned up nose.
Yeah. We had like the thing you were talking about that we have invasive species thing is the Burmese pythons.
That's yeah.
Yeah, those
Big,
have
big snakes.
exploded. Yep. I mean, they find them like 20 feet long in the wild.
Mate, they
And,
found
you know, they've
proof
eaten
of big cats in the UK, which is cool.
Okay.
Some sort of panthera. So we.
Oh, nice.
Because it's been debated since the 70s if we have big cats here, because it used to be legal with I'm pretty sure without a license in the UK to have a big cat. And then when they
Okay.
changed the law, not everybody turned their cats in. They turned them loose. And it's been debated ever since, and we people that believe have been called like conspiracy theorists and stuff for years, but they found a carcass of a livestock a few weeks back, and they took a swab and actually found the DNA on it. It was like confirmed. We found fur and now saliva of big cats. So they are here, and they've probably been here for decades.
Nice.
It's nuts,
Nice.
mate. It's nuts.
Well, I'll have to send you this picture. There's this picture of in the Everglades
Right, okay.
of one of the snakes, the pythons, whatever it was, and it's busted open, and it's like kind of the middle area
I've seen that.
by
yeah,
an alligator. Yeah, like
I've
it
seen
tried
that
to eat an
picture.
alligator. Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
pretty
isn't it?
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the Everglades is wild, man. Like I never plan on going there because I would probably be the dude who gets lost, and you'll never see
You
me
watch the
again.
show where they go out there and catching the snakes. Those guys are crazy.
Yeah,
'Cause,
those people are nuts.
I mean, like those sorts of TV shows, a certain amount of them you can go are fully scripted and stuff and put on, but like that seems like the catching of the snakes and stuff. That's just genuine.
Right.
They're like wrestling these things. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Have you ever seen the two Brits that are in South Africa that go around catching snakes?
No.
They go around catching like black mambas and stuff, bro, and that's like the most poisonous snake on the planet. And in the bag you go. I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
absolutely nuts.
Here it's like it used to be hunting season for the snakes, but I think now it's just year round because there's such a problem. Like they'll find a snake, and then they'll find like 100 eggs.
Yeah, of course.
Because so like you can't have that. It's just gonna destroy the wildlife around here.
Yeah, because like a clutch of 100 eggs, you probably get I don't know, probably get 10 of them survive.
Yeah.
It just I guess that's what the Simpsons episode's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
The snake whacking
Yep.
episode.
When they're driving them out of
Yeah,
Springfield.
yeah.
I remember that one.
The
it's good
Florida
stuff.
guys, Full Metal's not interested either. He said no, he's never going to the Australian outback or the Everglades. No, you're alright.
Yeah, Everglades is no man's land.
See, like I can tell you why I would not go to the outback, and that's because I've seen one of their creatures firsthand. So I used to work in a wine merchant, so where we'd be taking in deliveries from across the world, and we had a trailer come from Australia, drop off some Australian New Zealand wine, and I shit you not, mate, like a 6-inch wolf spider came out of it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, an Australian wolf spider, not an English wolf spider. An English wolf spider is about
Right.
3 inches. You
Yeah.
step on it, mate. This thing come out with a flick knife and a baseball bat, looking at us. Hey, come on, man. We're like shit. And I shit you not, mate. It got from the floor to my manager. My manager wasn't a short guy. It got from the floor to his shoulder faster than I could blink, and he went running off down the warehouse like a baby, mate. Oh man,
That's crazy.
and that's
Yeah,
why
it's-
I won't go to the outback.
Well, shit, man. Even their cute animals will beat your ass. The kangaroos
Yeah, mate, they're
Yeah.
vicious.
literally punch the shit out of you.
Well, mate, what they will do is grab you around the back of the neck, and then they put their rear legs into your gut, and
Yep.
and pull down. They literally just rip your insides out. They're vicious as hell. And the same
Yeah,
with
did you
koala.
ever
Koala will literally rip your face off.
Yeah. Did you ever see that video of that dude? Like he's in Australia and the kangaroo has his dog by the neck, and he like runs up to the kangaroo and he like punches him in the face. Yeah, he's like squaring up with this kangaroo, and the kangaroo squares up. You know, and it's like, holy shit, dude! Like,
fucking come over here.
Yeah.
I'll get you, you fucking kangaroo. Let's go.
Yeah. Exactly.
I remember that video. Yeah, because it's not even a small dog, is it?
No, it was like a
retriever.
I think it might have been like a German Shepherd or a Retriever or something.
It was a decent sized dog from what I remember. Yeah, I do remember that video.
Yeah, but it just like
places.
squares up with him and punches this kangaroo right in the face. You know, the kangaroo like you know is like taken aback for a second, like what the fuck did you just hit me? Yeah, he just like starts squaring up with the dude. It's crazy.
Right, I'll bugger off then. Oh man.
Yeah.
No, there's some mean wildlife out in Australia.
Yeah. I mean, Florida's not to that degree, but there's some crazy shit here too. You know, like you said, mostly alligators, snakes. You know, the Florida panthers are pretty cool, but you don't want to come across them.
Mate, have you ever heard of the magpies that attack people in the UK?
No.
Yeah, so there's a village in the UK, and they just attack cyclists. And people,
really?
Yeah. So people start wearing helmets like when they're walking around and stuff because the magpies just dive bomb everybody, man. They don't give a shit.
Really? That's
yeah,
crazy.
seriously, mate. You know, like you got times in the States where you got aggressive turkeys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know if you've seen those. I've seen those videos of like turkeys attacking cars and stuff in the States.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got that with magpies, mate.
Really?
Yeah, little bastards just coming from the sky. Like, hey, you! Oh, mate.
Yeah, we don't have like Florida. I mean, we have a lot of birds, but the biggest thing are the fucking seagulls when you're trying to fish or
your seagulls must be huge because that's pretty big. Like,
they're not.
Bigger
they're pretty big. Yeah, they're pretty big, but like they're just annoying. Like they don't go away. Like they try and steal your bait and shit when you're fishing, and like we have pretty cool birds, pelicans. You know, they're pretty cool to be around. But like when you're cutting up the bait or cutting up the fish, they'll like come out of nowhere and they're just staring at you. You know, so you throw them fish guts or whatever.
We saved a seagull once, believe it or not. Me and Witch raised one.
Really?
Yeah, we were working at a warehouse, and it was near a dock, and seagulls used to nest on the roof, and every single nesting season, an amount of babies would fall off the roof and be eaten by the local foxes. But we caught one, and we brought it back, and we had an empty rabbit hutch at the time, 2-story rabbit hutch. Like it's not massive, but he's going to get eaten by cats, and he'll die if we leave him. So we named him Steven, so it's Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Mate, and I got a rabbit called Dennis Hopper.
Nice.
So we've had this. Honestly, we're buying like fresh, like pilchards and stuff, and feeding this thing for like a month or so until it learned to fly, and now it lives in a local colony.
Oh, cool.
Believe it or not, we broke the law.
Oh, well,
it's a protected,
I kind of believe it.
It's a protected species in the UK. The seagull, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. It's got the same status that the silverback gorilla has. I think it is something like that. It's got a silly conservation status because people were killing them.
It's kind of crazy
because they got so much. Mate, there's a video of a bloke. He got convicted, right? So he's there eating a sandwich on a seafront in the UK, and this comes like this seagull. He grabs it and snaps its neck and throws it. Yeah, mate. He's like, you can fuck off. He got prosecuted and stuff, mate. It's absolutely insane. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, what? Yeah, just snap that bird's neck. Like, you grab it and throw it away, maybe? No, this guy went a whole hog, mate. Snapped his neck. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
And I looked up the legalities of, like, a seagull. Like, if I was doing anything wrong, it's like, well, kind of, I am, but I've already committed to crime, like, essentially.
Right.
But the seagull's alive.
Still alive, yeah?
Yeah. It went out off to live in the colony, mate. We raised it up, it flew away, and then went to live with his brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but how long does a seagull live? I don't even know.
I don't know, mate. I don't know, but mate, honestly, this thing, it wasn't very big. It was about, I don't know, 9 inches, like head to tail.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been that old. It definitely would have died without our intervention. So we saved a life.
Yeah, we tried that when we were little. My sister, so it must have been like a robin, just a little bird, baby bird. and it fell out of the nest, and we couldn't find the mom or anything. So my sister like got a box and put it in there, you know, sticks and leaves and you know, I'm probably 6 or 7 maybe at the time, and my sister was probably 9 or 10. So you know, she's like, she named this bird Happy, right? this poor bird. So before we left, we like my family was like, all right, we gotta, you know, go to the store or something, wherever the hell we went. And
Right.
she left berries in there with the baby bird. So when we came back, it had choked to death on a
Oh no.
berry. I was like,
Oh,
oh no, Happy the bird choked on a berry.
Oh,
You know,
man.
it was just so traumatic for my sister at the time.
Oh bless. It's like Witch's sister. She's got like quails or something. Like she
Okay.
breeds. One hatched the other day and just went and drowned itself straight away. Like, I think it'd been alive about a minute.
Right.
And it went for a drink, and then she literally looked away for a second or two, came back, and it's like it was just limp in the water bowl. She's like, you're literally just walking towards it. It's nuts, man.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
it's that was a shame.
Serpico said you can make 150 grand harvesting cranberries because of wolf spiders. That's crazy.
Oh really?
They do bite pretty hard, Serpico, and they're like very venomous, man. Very venomous indeed. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts. I would not want to do that.
Anyway, mate, we're getting towards an hour, so I'm going to call the stream there.
Yeah, sounds good.
No, it's been good, good talking to you, mate.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
hit you up soon for the next podcast. Thank you, everybody, who's taken part. Thanks for 10 likes on the first live podcast. I haven't really talked about anything in
Appreciate
particular.
it.
We just waffled bollocks, really, guys. But thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, do more stuff. There'll be more podcasts in the future, mate. This
Yeah,
was just,
we will, Metal.
This was just waffling bollocks, mate. To be honest, might do another live one with actual a direction of content. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. Anyway, much love, peace out, and we'll catch you guys very soon. All right, bye.
Later, guys. Peace.